Hello friends, and welcome back to another virtual story time with Miss Liz. Today, our story time focuses on a heavy but very important topic. I wanted to give all of our viewers and caregivers a heads up that we are reading today about racial injustice. Last night in Philadelphia, a Black man was murdered by police. And it's important that even our youngest citizens are aware of what happens and why it happens. So today we are reading Something Happened in Our Town, a child's story about racial injustice. This book was written by Marianne Celano, Marietta Collins, and Ann Hazzard, and was illustrated by Jennifer Zivoin. We're going to read this together. Something happened in our town. Something bad happened in our town. The news was on the TV, the radio, and the internet. The grown-ups didn't think the kids knew about it. But the kids in Ms. Garcia's class heard some older kids talking about it, and they had questions. This is the story of Emma's family. After school, Emma asked her mother, "Why did the police shoot that man?" "It was a mistake," said her mother. "I feel sad for the man and his family." "Yes, the police thought he had a gun," said her father. "It wasn't a mistake," said her sister Liz. "The cops shot him because he was Black." Emma was confused. "He is brown, not Black," she said. "Some people have dark brown skin and some have light brown skin," Emma's father explained. "Black usually means African American. Most of their ancestors were brought here from Africa as slaves." "I know what a slave is," said Emma. "That's when you have to do whatever the other person says." Yes. Slaves had to do whatever white people told them to do. Even after slavery ended, white people didn't let Black people live where they wanted, go to school with white people, or vote. "Who are white people?" asked Emma. "White people came here from places in Europe or Russia or other countries. We are white, even though our skin is light tan." "Did our family do those bad things a long time ago?" asked Emma. "Yes," answered her mother. "Back then, many white people thought that they were better than Black people, even though it wasn't true." Liz added, "Some white people still think most Black men and boys are dangerous, even though they're not." "Was the man that got shot dangerous?" asked Emma. "No," her mother said. "Shooting him was a mistake. It was a mistake that is part of a pattern." "Like the pattern on my blanket?" Emma asked. "Yes, but this pattern is being nice to white people and mean to Black people. It is an unfair pattern," said Emma's mother. "Suppose you had a birthday party and invited everyone in your class except the Black kids," her mother said. "How would the Black kids feel?" "They would be sad," said Emma, "or mad." "And you would be missing out because you never know who is going to be your best friend," said her sister Liz. "And you can help others to be fair," said her mother. "Like telling Anna to stop teasing Ling about her name?" asked Emma. Her mother gave her a hug. "Yes, just like that." And this is the story of how Emma's family talked a bit about racial injustice. But the story is not over. We have another family that we're going to meet on the next pages. In another house, Josh asked his mother, "Can police go to jail?" "Yes," said his mother. "Why do you ask?" "That white policeman who shot the Black man," said Josh. "Will he go to jail?" "What he did was wrong," said his mother. "But he won't go to jail," said his father. "Why not?" asked Josh. "Cops stick up for each other," said Josh's brother Malcolm, "and they don't like black men." Josh was confused. "Why not? Some police are black." "You're right," said his mother. "Uncle James is a police officer, and so is my friend Kenya." "There are many cops, black and white, who make good choices," said his father. "But we can't always count on them to do what is right." Malcolm added, "I could get stopped by the police just because I'm black, even if I don't do anything wrong." "That's not fair," Josh said. "What if it was a white man in the car? Would the police have shot him?" "They probably wouldn't have even stopped the car," said Josh's father. "Sometimes white people are treated better than black people, but it's not right. Everybody should be treated fairly." Josh's mother gave him a hug. "We're proud of who we are. Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King Jr., and Nelson Mandela were strong and brave black leaders. They showed us that we can stand up for our rights and set good examples for others. They were treated unfairly, but helped others learn how to be more fair." "Some people haven't learned yet," said Josh's father angrily. "Why are you mad?" asked Josh. "I'm mad that we're still treated poorly sometimes, but I can use my anger to make things better," said his father. "Black people have a lot of power if we work together to make changes." "I have power," Josh said, "and I'm smart." His father smiled. "You're right." His mother added, "And you can change people's hearts by sticking up for someone who is not treated fairly." "Like how Malcolm sticks up for me when the kids tease me about my glasses?" Josh asked. "He tells them to step off." "Just like that," his parents said. And now we're going to Josh and Emma's school to see what happens after they each talk with their families about racial justice. Here we are at school, and a new kid is arriving that day. The next day, a new kid joined Emma and Josh's class. His name was Omad, and he was from a country far away. Omad didn't know where to sit or what to do because it was his first day in school. He talked a little bit, but it was hard to understand him. He said he was learning English. So Omad is a new American who doesn't yet speak English very well and might need a little bit of help fitting in and learning what the other kids already know. After lunch, the class went outside to play soccer. Daniel and Sophia picked kids to be on their teams, and all of the kids were picked to be on a team, except Omad. Daniel said Omad probably didn't know how to play because he was new. Sophia said Omad might not be good at soccer. But just then, Josh remembered what his mother said about sticking up for people who were treated unfairly. And Emma remembered what her mother said about unfair patterns and birthday parties. Do you think that Josh and Emma are going to do something to help Omad? Let's see. All of a sudden, Omad wasn't alone. Emma and Josh were leading him to their team. "We have enough kids on our team," Daniel said. "We don't need him." And Josh was ready. "Step off," he said. "Omad is playing on our team." "Yeah," said Emma. "We don't want to miss out." And just like that, Emma and Josh gained a new friend and started a better pattern at their school. And that, my friends, is the end of the story. But if you have more questions, and especially for the caregivers out there, at the end of this book, there is a wonderful note to parents and caregivers, and it gives even more information on how to talk about racial injustice with your family. I loved the ideas that were presented in this EndNote. Some of the ideas that I really enjoyed were these. Here's one. Take time to address your child's questions or comments. Do not ignore or sidestep them. It's very important that the trusted adults in a child's life are willing to confront hard questions and provide reassurance. That is the way that we lay a foundation for healthy relationships with everyone. Another suggestion I liked is to make a proactive effort to regularly engage in activities with individuals from many cultures. You can also ensure diversity in the media, toys, books, and art that are part of your child's life at home and in school. Make a practice of being inclusive all the time. And there's much more if you want to pick up a copy of this book at your library or through a store that will help educate you and make you feel more prepared to have these conversations with children. So, friends, I thank you for joining me today to read this book, Something Happened in Our Town, a story about racial injustice. If you have questions about what we read today, please ask your grown-ups to explain more to you because it is a very important topic to talk about. I appreciate your time today, and I will see you tomorrow for more great books. Thanks for watching, everyone.